Good reading, Carl.
I started a sheet here.
So that Steve and
We saw him already this morning.
that's speaking of that.
Zach. I said it.
Oh, morning.
You're on. Yeah.
How do you feel in response to your past?
I do not. Thank you. Just to do this.
Yeah.
Boy, the Hawkeyes hurt the pride over there today.
What the hell?
But I.
That was simply embarrassing.
Okay.
Yeah.
This guy here will push you.
Your leisure being.
Ben brings his wet paper this morning.
I'm sorry.
It's kind of wet this morning.
Hey, this one was in the middle. So how long?
People saying he's gonna be starting.
I
He said he's gonna be part of some meetings next week.
Yeah, they're gonna be somewhere around.
Listen.
So it's just ongoing, Michael. That's why you're leaving this one.
Yeah, I plan to put her into our, I keep, one of the.
Much better.
And we have roads in.
Yeah.
We call it easier, but I want it to be something more formal to everyone.
Yeah.
Engineers, we got the other claim.
But it is something that is a consideration, not stop, so definitely gonna find that. Actually. That's something. It's all last.
Yeah, there must be the claim sheet.
Yeah. Well, I didn't think you had it.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Engineer.
That was the engineers when I signed off on it.
Nice subdivision. Yeah.
All right, at 8:30, all those that so choose, please stand.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call the meeting to order with everyone present. As a reminder, the meeting is being recorded. If you choose not to be recorded, you have the option of leaving. First item on the agenda this morning, Mike Kueny, our county engineer, with some road project updates.
Just a lot of progress this week. Winneshiek County is the finalist for the Bill Grant. There's nothing really new this week. Railroad Flat Part Bridge Study Coordination is to occur this week. They may be the ISU meeting coming out later in the week, perhaps next week, not this week. Subdivision data gathered, nothing new this week. Quarry Hill Road, Washington, to make the drive safer, is being forwarded to the Decorah and buildings. There's nothing new to report on this week. Matthew Valley construction is finished. We're waiting for seeding to create cover. And then that will be finalized. Culvert work on A14 east of Hasbro began a couple of weeks ago. The county has constructed concrete patches over the pipe. ISCOB 32 is to begin, I said tomorrow. It's looking like Wednesday.
The concrete patches are going pretty good.
The concrete patches are going good on 350th Street up there. I would say it's a design success in terms of we're doing something relatively new or revisiting something we used to do. And the guys are excellent on that.
Probably quite a cost savings if you contract that out, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, we were looking at forgetting the number per square yard, but it's over 10,000 square yard that we were looking at as a cost in 2018 or 2019. So that's our guys doing it, and then we pay for microfiber reinforcement, which is increases the cost of the concrete, but we don't have an outside contractor to do that. We're not doing anything with doweling and rebar or anything like that. So it's cost savings that way as well. So
So even by paying overtime, if you have to, you're still
yeah,
money ahead.
we are paying overtime to get that done. We're trying to get plenty of maintenance done this year, and now that we're over the hump with income and revenue, I would look for us to continue doing 350 the rest of the fall and perhaps Northland Road.
Okay.
W20 patches are the asphalt patches on top of the culverts are complete. The dirt patcher is operating on A14 this week. Bridge 307 will be let on December of 2025. Everything is just passed as of this morning. Bridge 208 curtain wall and outlet floor were poured last week. Vertical wall will be poured this week, when permitting. Bridge 126 knee apprentices have been completed and the project will likely be let in January. I set the cover sheet to be signed. Dan there. Get signatures on that before with our TPMS project development on that. Frankville Road letting will likely follow Bridge 126. We were reimbursed last week for the sign grant. Annual report has been submitted to DOT. We're waiting for approval on that. Fuel bids are due back this week. And then Camline contacted us last week and they want to use their striping operations that we approved for the summer. Centerline stripe over the entire county, paved surfaces, and then fog lines to the southwest quadrant. The southwest quadrant being if the north-south road is Highway 52 to 150th, that's the center of the county. And Highway 9 is the north-south dividing line. So it's going to be the southwest quadrant there. So southwest of Highway 9 and 52. That's what it'd be putting the fog lines out. That was done because we were absent fog lines on W14 for W14 north there. That was chosen. And then this past week, I attended the DOT District 2 conference. And then this week, I will be attending a Missouri, Iowa, Nebraska, and Kansas conference week on Wednesday and Thursday. It's in St. Joseph, Missouri.
Busy week.
How is the little town line project coming out?
So a couple of things on town line, and whitetail to a lesser extent at this point. We were initially having more trouble with whitetail. Town line, it is still getting slimy when it gets wet. If you drive town line shortly after it gets wet, caution, but shortly afterward, it hardens up, it dries out, it's doing what it's supposed to. You'll notice that there are no washboards, and that leads me to believe that the product is still working. Just having excess material coming to the surface and making it slimy. We put roughly 150 tons per mile of rock on there to buffer some of the cations that's in the rock, and we're hoping that keeps it stable until it sets up. The engineering literature on that shows that significant strength increase after day 28, and day 28 would be Wednesday or Thursday. Would be Wednesday. So we are fast approaching a hardening of that product, and things should improve very shortly. Unfortunately, the weather has made it.
Yeah, it ain't helped them.
And if it does, I mean, if it doesn't, obviously we're not gonna do it. So that's it's a pilot program.
Yep.
And we don't. The non-success of this installation would mean that we would not go forward with this. But I don't want to rule out success.
No,
Yes,
yeah.
because this is
Too early.
within the realm of possibilities.
Things
And in
happen.
the future, I will be putting a surface coat on all applications in the future. So, it's a pilot program, learning a little bit as we go a little bit.
Yeah, no,
If there was more aggregate there, do you think that would have held up just a little better?
It's hard to say because when it's slippery, you don't form big mill ruts, and that's what the big aggregate's for. I think just more aggregate would have been quicker to set in with the program itself. So it's hard for me to make a real construction comment on that. I think it would have made it a little more stable for sure.
Yeah.
When it got slippery.
But then on B32, we had one crossing that was dipped. I got a call and tag axles were hitting when they went through that. And I think
Okay.
you got the crews going out this week to
Uh,
probably do some repair on that.
That we are going to it. That was talked about late last week and then this morning, that dip. We are looking at sending a crew out if we can, ahead of the ISO project. And we were going to try to get there as best we can.
In the light of,
Exactly.
Yeah.
So everything I say that's happening this week is weather permitting. So, it's raining. I'm going out.
I know.
Town line shortly after this meeting. So.
I'm just,
Did you change?
I hope not.
from what I saw down there after the fact, years later on that enzyme product that we were down there for that seminar that the University of or Iowa State did. That's Buchanan County. That was really, it's still, I think we're going to come out in the end. I think this is going to show us still a good product.
I'm keeping the faith right now.
Yeah.
So we need a motion to approve this 126 page.
No, I think it's
Okay. This has to be done with blue pen now.
yes, I have a purple.
I'll have to sign it.
Go that way.
Thank you.
Does anyone have anything else for Mike?
No.
Thank you.
Thank you. Consent agenda?
Minutes, claims, and liquor license for Twin Springs.
I've moved to approve the consent agenda.
Second. Motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. Is there any further discussion? If none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimous. Any reports?
They had a very good turnout for the Historic Commission's joint meeting with the German American Museum in St. Lucas this past week. They had probably a good 100, the facility held 125 and they filled it. That was for a turnout, and they had the president of the tribe was there, and their historian, and so they had a very good presentation, and tremendous public turnout.
Oh, good. How many do you think were there?
125.
125.
Yeah, and
That's awesome.
there was people from the historic commission all over the state.
I heard it was good program.
It was well worth attending.
I had the ECI reorganization now to the districts rather than regions, and everything's still kind of going through reorganization, rewriting things. Really has yet to be, there's just not a lot of solid information yet coming out of it. They said there will be funding, but it's not really approved yet, so we'll see how that goes. Kind of following with that was I've got the county one that's closing, the multiple counties, and meeting again on Wednesday, basically just to approve the temporary consultants we are paying to close out the county organizations.
So that's all going to be finalized by the end of the year.
Well, yeah, I had sent to Andy, he requested some more information so that we can break the 2080 with that organization. It's still really won't limit our liability, but there should be, I would think there should be enough money to cover the outstanding expenses on that, so.
I'm gonna tell her that.
Well, the state has closed, it's closing out the multiple county region we had for services, and it's gotten rolled into a much larger organization where it's more centralized, and so it'll be redispersed out
For mental health care.
for, yeah. County Social Services is what it was called before. And we have money, all the counties put in money, it was about 8 years ago to organize. That money now is going to be absorbed by the state, so it won't be coming back to us. But yet, if there's not funds there, we're going to be on the hook to pay for it. So it sounds like it should be, but there's just really a loose communication network with the new organization because they aren't really fully organized yet themselves, even though they're in charge. So
Our new
Same.
region's office is where?
in the old Walmart building there, where Veterans Clinic was at. The person is there with a 1 day a week or something like that, very limited hours, but we do have a representative in Decorah for the group. It's just that everything is a lot slower. Reimbursements are slow, contractors are not getting paid. But they're trying to work it out, so. We'll see, still too early to make it, and so it's almost like a repeat of the meeting with the ECI meeting or the childhood on Friday I had. There again, people were trying to explain what the new system will be. A lot of this comes down to funding and how that's gonna happen, so. But you make a call, leave a message, they'll maybe get back to you, so that's kind of where it's at right now.
Yeah, we had a
A lot of waiting for getting back to you.
We had a workforce development board meeting this week and discussed further why, all of the last details of why we do not want to join with the other two districts that were available to us or that wanted us to join. And I think that decision's been the right decision. I think we're doing fine with our own local group. And I'm afraid that if we did go that direction, we could probably lose some of our local services, which is not to our benefit. So I think we've got a good, in the overall team that runs all of the different programs for the 22 counties, I think it is, that are involved in our district up here. That's probably still, that's the best way to go. They're doing a good job. I think there's an open house at the Iowa Works down here this week. Let me check real quick. Yes, on Wednesday from 10 to 12 at the local Workforce Development Board, right down next to Social Security there in the back behind Upper Explorer Land. They're having this open house. If you're interested or know some people that can be helped by their services, it's between 10 and 12 on Wednesday.
This week, Wednesday?
This Wednesday. Mark, you want to do an update on our committee meeting at Recycle?
Well, we're kind of looking at that and really trying to get them started on doing a 1 year, but also 3 year budgeting proposal for equipment needs. And the biggest problem, well, it's not a problem, but the issue is that we've got 50, close to 60 containers out there that are going to need servicing. And that was in the report. They're putting new rollers on them. Is part of it, and we've, rather than buying a new container for roughly $10,000, we could have them totally rebuilt for 5 or so. But we're going to do liners with them and then put on new rollers. So hopefully that will extend the life of them. Painting, upkeep, that's still out in the future with that. The new baler we were looking at out there probably is going to be put on hold. Going to be, that sounds like they're going to be purchasing a new forklift. One we have is a gas forklift that is not in excellent condition. There's an electric one that virtually is unusable. They were going to give us $1,500 total for the 2 trade-ins. So we're talking, going to see if roads department might want the gas one. It's a serviceable unit, but it's the only gas equipment we have out there. Everything else is not.
And considering that we've got a closed environment in the wintertime that we want to try to keep heat and so forth, if we can go to the electric, we're far better off from a health perspective. And the road department would welcome the forklift, they say, which I think that's a good interdepartmental use.
So things are looking really well. I mean, the cost savings that are happening out there are really paying off for us. Finding a new outlet for aluminum has been a great plus. It's over $1,000 a month. The consolidation of rural waste being picked up and hauled by recycling has really been a big plus and savings for the county on both ends of that. And there again, I think people need to understand rural waste and recycling are two different budgets, that they're not the same. So to be able to consolidate those has been a good savings for everybody. Looking at possibly buying a air curtain,
Actually, those
Plastic.
vinyl plastic curtain, not a
curtain with flaps,
Just
That's-
drive through on the main door.
because it's a 20-foot door. I mean, when that thing is open, because they have to have it to back in with the, pull out with the dumpsters when they're up. So it should be a cost savings. I think it was about a $3,000 expense, but over time, that would be a huge savings for heat wise. For us, we're still looking at, the electric savings is a huge plus out there. And we finally have tracked down the IRS, identified us so that we can get our rebate on the solar project there.
Yeah, that's been a very frustrating process trying to get through the maze to talk to a person to finally find out that they were only dealing with us as county, of Winneshiek in their records, and we couldn't be found.
So Ben and Evan had worked for a long time on that.
Time.
The other major, it's not a major, but issue that is coming up is we're down about 3 positions out there to what we were. Right now, if everybody's there and everybody comes to work, it's fine. But if one person is on vacation, let alone 2, or somebody calls in sick, it's a bit of a bind. And so they're looking to potentially hire or have on deck 1 or maybe 2 part-time people be able to call in to make it run.
And that also would have, we've changed the idea of wanting them to also be able to have a Class A, so that if it's a driver that we're missing, we can easily backfill, and it doesn't just take Jeff, who has a Class A or whichever, to do that. So I think, and I think that's a smart recommendation. Because we are down, I think we're down three full-time
Well, what the equivalent of that probably.
FTEs.
Yeah, so I think they're going to be looking at a proposal to potentially hire or have on deck to be able to have substitute people, either for the sort line driver or the handling materials. So
That's all good recycling.
yeah, it's it's not even been a year into this whole reorganization and rescheduling and routes, and so but I think they're doing a great job out there.
Yeah, I'm real encouraged with where we were and where we are in this short period of time. We've got the morale is better. If you haven't seen it, you ought to see it. I mean, it's looking.
I mean, the problem is that people will look at and say, 15 years ago, the prices for the material we were reselling was way, way higher than it is now. Just in the one product, like they call it, but it's like your pop bottles and stuff like that. I mean, it went from 20 some down to was it 3 just in a matter of weeks. So I mean, it's hard to look at it and say, well, it's the profitability of it, because it depends on what day of the month or what year you were talking about with that. But recycling is down in general. Right now, if we could recycle copper, we'd be rich.
Sure.
But on the other hand of that, you got to look at the economy
Yep.
of saving landfill.
Well, that's the whole,
All
that
that
is
tonnage.
ultimately the goal, is to save that.
Yeah.
The appliance recycling is going well, and fluorescent light bulbs, batteries, all of that.
And the article that went in about the Zach was responsible for doing that little expose and educating on lithium batteries. That if you didn't see, it was in the driftless and all. And he had a real nice article in there that that help bring that to the surface, because we don't need, that they will cause fires in the landfill
And it's your
Yeah,
house.
the
and
amazing,
your house.
the amazing was people just throw them away because you don't even realize, forget there's even a battery in there, but just something the size of a hearing aid battery can cause an explosion, so.
Yeah, or the one in the key fob that you have.
So anyway,
I've got community action in West Union tonight, and we're gonna hear more about the home heating assistance program, and cross your fingers that there's not cuts there, because a lot of people in our region do use that heating assistance program. So I'll know more about that after the meeting tonight. And then Thursday, Northeast Iowa Behavioral Health will be meeting. And we're also looking at some necessary cuts there too. You're on the board. Go ahead.
Had some interesting information kind of given to us here at the Winneshiek County Development and Tourism meeting about the local option sales tax. What's put in, what's taken out, how it's divided out amongst everybody in the county. Decorah has 81.5%, and they received 52.6. So it is kind of an interesting sheet. You can read out, people want to take a look at it.
There's extras on the table, or there's one up here if anybody needs another one.
It also shows Decorah's hotel motel tax revenue by quarters, starting in June of 2022 through 3 of 25. $70,600 awarded in grants from 10/24 to 9/25. And they're basically anywhere from trees to demolition of existing structures. So. I had mine circled. I took a different
Okay.
color.
Sorry. I think the main thing about Winneshiek County Development Tourism, whenever we go to those board meetings, we come out of there just really thankful for the people doing this work for the whole county. It's not a very big team of people. One is here actually today. Thank you. That work. They bring a lot of money in, and they do a lot of good projects for the whole county.
They do a good job.
I think the proceeds of the hotel motel tax and all the taxes are shared around the county. It's not just Decorah receiving that either, so. It's all Winneshiek County. There you go. It provides jobs and resources for everybody.
And there was another tidbit of information that we found out that we were unaware of in the last while. And that is what's coming up next on the miscellaneous. The pledge of funds for the sports complex does not have to come out of this year's budget if we pledge it this year. It can be taken out and paid out over a 3-year timeline, which makes it a little more doable. So I see it's listed first in the miscellaneous, but as it was turned down last week, probably one of us three would have to make a motion to go about that, which I am willing to do if I have to, but I would like to consult with Andy on exactly how I have to go about doing that with the meeting. So I'm gonna talk with him, and then after we're done with Andy, I'll bring that miscellaneous item back up.
Actually, you can do, one of us can bring in the motion if it's a renewing the motion, not reconsideration of the motion. Because we've been at this for over a month now.
I just would rather verify that with him.
Andy.
If you want to make a motion to reconsider, you can definitely ask Andy, but my understanding is you want to make the motion to
You
reconsider.
just
You
step
could
down.
step
I have
down
to step
from the
down.
Chair.
Mark would
Sit down.
sit in the chair, you could make a motion and then he could call for a second and then he could consider.
And we can do that today.
We'll just do it today.
Yeah, no, I understand that. I guess another part of that would be, after thinking about it all weekend, if we do not give Decorah the ability to apply for the CAT grant, we're kind of setting a precedent that any of the other communities in the county would have to be treated the same way, to be fair. And I have a problem with that. I mean, some of the smaller communities really probably need the funding more than Decorah. So that's another one of the thoughts that I have. Another part of it is I have a real tough time doing it after listening to Decorah's city council meeting. We got a couple people on there that are out of touch with reality, in my viewpoint. Saying that we spit in their hand, that's quite a statement.
Yep.
Uh,
That's where I'm at.
There was also another person at our board meeting, which is a very prominent man in Decorah, said if Decorah keeps going down this road, people aren't going to be able to pay their property taxes. And I really think that's true. They're going to have to learn how to watch their spending, because it's not for the county, for us to bail them out every time they're going to get themselves in a hole.
Yep.
But some of the same people that were opposed to this athletic complex are still going to be responsible for paying for it. So that is another reason why I'm in favor of the $5,000 for it, to help save those people tax money if they can get that grant. So that's where I'm at.
I just think regardless of what's happened to today, here we are, and the potential for us to put in just a very minimal amount of money to let them apply for the grant. And if they receive it, it's a great investment. That's the reward of additional resources will pay itself off.
And I know at the meeting I said I'd probably be in favor of 10,000, but after I sat and thought about that, and as tight as things are, I think I have to knock that 10 down to the 5. Sorry on that account, but still willing to go that direction.
So what if we move for 10,000 payable over 3 years?
Yeah, but that's still, and I know it can be broke down so much per year. But if we're going to do it in 3-year increments, it's still 3,000 out of this year's budget. And
Next year's?
well,
The upcoming budget.
upcoming budget, yes. So I'm willing to go that direction, but only at the $5,000 level. That's where I'm at.
So if we move in that direction, then we're creating a precedent that will allow any of the other 7 incorporated cities to have help from the county in a similar amount in that same period ahead. So that if it's Castelia that wants to build a ball field that doesn't have one, and they're looking for another grant, then they have that opportunity. Or if Spillville wants a pickleball court and they can be looking for grants, there'll be some matching grant money that would come from this board. We're setting that precedent up. That's the understanding that we're putting on the table under these conditions.
Yeah, that's what brings a lot of it in. I mean, so we can treat everybody in the county fairly. We probably will have to figure into the next budget some sort of fund that's just set aside in case that comes up during the year, because in an event like this, all of a sudden it got sprung on us and it's not in our budget. So
I sit where I stand from prior. My constituents, the way majority of them.
Well,
I've had just 1 or 2, or the rest absolutely nothing. And after I've heard what the city council bashing us, I'm not giving, no, that's if they ain't got any more respect for us and that, they can't come manage their business better than that. Don't come here and bash us for not doing what they want us to do. No. If they'd have came here to begin with and said, we have this CAT grant we want to apply for, what can you do for us? Instead of putting $500,000 out there, I mean, that's still the mindset out there. It was just ridiculous. If they can't plan on their part and come here sensibly and talk to us, no, not happening.
Here's an idea to make sure that we have this money. I'm only speaking for myself. There's two others at the table that go, but I'm willing to forego my continuing education budget for ISAC conferences, which averages about hotel mileage, registration fee, probably about $1,200. If I gave that up for the next 2 or 3 years, that helps create this money. It's not new money we're trying to find. And I don't know about you, but that would help find this money. And that's an easy give. I believe in not leaving a $500,000 potential grant on the table for the county. This is a county initiative. And I do believe that other villages in this county would, by all means, if they've got a shovel-ready project and grants lined up that they need the county contribution to help get that grant they're going after, yes, we should look at that. So I like that part of it.
Yeah,
This
that's,
is all
I don't want
positive.
to set a precedent where we're not able to do that.
I mean, I just think we should be able to find that money over 3 years. And we should be able to put a few $1,000s every year into a budget to be able to accommodate, hopefully, other people wanting to do the same thing. And, you know, when you talk about, I've heard from, I mean, there's 20,000 people in the county. I haven't heard from 20,000 people, so I can't say the majority is influencing my decision because the few people we've heard from is not our constituents, so to speak.
And the people I've
They
heard
are,
from
but I
have been
mean,
in
it's
favor of
not
it.
the, you know, everybody. And so you hear from a few loud voices, which is great. And I wish we would hear from more people, but I just think the potential for increased revenue for everybody in the county and job opportunities and recreational opportunities for everybody in the county is too much to leave on the table by not taking this project to the next level, which is what this money is all about.
The hotel motel, as far as the tourism and so forth, hotel motel tax goes to Decorah. Unless the cities, like I was checking with Ben, unless the cities themselves have made a ballot initiative to elect to have hotel motel tax, they do not benefit from the tourism other than perhaps a percentage of sales tax that may be generated people that do come. So I'm not moved by the tourism aspect of it. My concern is I got 5 small communities that are all struggling. Dan has 2 in his district. We've got the other unincorporated that are under the same things. We have to step in when it comes to Burr Oak or Festina or others. So those are part of what we have to do because they're unincorporated areas. Now, I don't want to see some of those little cities become unincorporated. You know, if you only have 36 people, you don't have a lot of
Because I can guarantee
a deal with.
them communities are gonna come in here and ask sensibly and reasonably. They ain't gonna come in here then bash us the minute we don't do something. I will guarantee you them communities, little communities got a lot of respect for us.
I
A lot of respect.
I
for us.
attend 4 of their city council meetings every month, basically, and they are not bashing the county. They are
No.
very, you know, I give them an update
They're
of things that are
thankful for what we
happening
do.
and they're appreciative to hear what's going on. And if they have something that they were trying to approach, usually their first avenue is to go do it themselves.
They've raised nearly 900,000 private dollars for this initiative. So there's a lot of people behind this and don't kid yourselves. It's not just Decorah businesses or Decorah individuals that have donated to this. It's county-wide. And I've heard from a lot of people, including your district, Mark,
That's
that
fine.
are in favor of this. And I'm keeping track of every phone call I've gotten by name, and I'm keeping track of every email I've gotten by name. And I can tell you,
I've
it's
had-
a 2 to 1 in favor of not leaving 500,000 potential dollars on the table. We don't even have to give them money that we pledge if they don't get the grant. This truly, truly, truly is a no-brainer. We should be acting on this, get beyond it.
You know, I think also, I respect all of these communities, but they all don't, the communities, the people don't work inside that community. They come outside to Decorah and around the county to find jobs. And this is creating potentially more job opportunities for people by the increase in tourism.
You are right, Shirley. People from outside of Decorah will be using this when they can't afford to pay the taxes in Decorah anymore. They have to move out.
We've got people that live in all over parts of the county that come into Decorah for work. We're all one piece of a community here. I don't see it differently.
You're right.
We are all one county.
You're right, Shirley. All of the services in the small communities, because they can't compete, have been brought into this area right here. And it reflects in the sales tax numbers that are right here and what Maddie provided through tourism. That's a fact, because they don't have the businesses any longer. Every community used to have a grocery store. They had more gas and filling stations. They had other services available. The restaurants closed down, et cetera, because they can't compete. And you don't live out in the county. You don't hear from the people that say, I don't like the attitude of Decorah, so I go shop in Cresco, or I go to Prairie du Chien because I don't want to I'll go to Walmart and Prairie du Chien. Now, I've had these comments. Now, is it fair? That's their opinion, and they vote with their feet.
You know, we are 5 people elected in the county. And we need to, as a team and as professionals sitting at this table, set a positive outlook for community building, for partnerships, and for working together. I don't care what other people do. That's part of our job, is to create a community that works together. Whether you want to ignore facts or not, when Decorah does well, the county does well, and that's what this sheet is pointing out. Most of the taxes are collected in this county, and they are shared with the rest of the county. Winneshiek County Development and Tourism works with all the small towns in this county to produce movies and videos and pamphlets and getting grants for projects they do. They work with the whole county. Our county is healthy when Decorah is healthy. Our county is healthy when the other towns are healthy. It's all related. It's all one piece and one web. And I think that we can look at this in a positive light and say, what can we do together to move this county forward? We've got to create new revenue. No matter what, new revenue has to come into the county if we want to be healthy and survive into the next few years.
Well,
This is one way.
I've already set out to do it. I guess
Andy's on at 10:15 if we want to ask him, why, go ahead.
Question for you, Andy. Would it be cleaner for him to step down and make a motion under a reconsideration of the motion of last week? Or can Mark or I do a renewing of the motion, which would be cleaner legally?
For them to step down and to reconsider it.
Okay.
I think there's a basis for two of you if you want to vote for the majority to do that. So
okay, I will step down as chair for this issue.
Okay, I'll take over.
I will make a motion to reconsider the bid or the donation to the Decorah Sports Complex of $5,000. Or a pledge of $5,000 upon CAT grant approval.
We have a motion on the floor. Entertain a second.
Would you amend that motion to say 10,000 if we give up 2 years worth of
No.
ISAC?
That's your proposal, Shirley. That's not everybody's. I think.
Just asking if you would consider an amendment.
I would be willing to, but
Mine's been donated every year.
I've donated mine every year too.
Not one.
Not one penny have I taken out of there, and I've done a lot of driving for the county. Different issues.
So let's just leave that alone.
Okay.
Nope.
I have a motion.
Second.
We have a first and a second. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Can you repeat the motion,
It's a
please?
resolution.
Okay, a resolution.
Can you
Mark?
repeat the full motion, please?
You want to read the resolution?
There ain't a number on it.
No. I don't
No.
remember that. So, okay.
That was good.
Whereas the city of Decorah has undertaken the planning and development of an Decorah Athletic Complex project, a community-wide recreational facility designed to enhance opportunities for youth and adults to engage in athletics, wellness, and community activities. And whereas the benefits of the Decorah Athletic Complex extend beyond the city of Decorah, serving residents throughout the Winneshiek County by providing improved recreational amenities, opportunities for youth participation, and expand capacity to host regional events and tournaments. And whereas the Winneshiek County Board of Supervisors recognizes the importance of the high-quality recreational infrastructure in promoting health, economic vitality, tourism, and overall quality of life for the county residents. And whereas the board further recognizes the significant investment being made by the city of Decorah and other partners, and desires to express its support for this regional innovative. And now therefore be it resolved by the Winneshiek County Board of Supervisors that the Winneshiek County Board of Supervisors hereby voices its strong support for the Decorah Athletic Complex project and acknowledges to positive impact for all residents of Winneshiek County. Number two, Winneshiek County pledges a financial contribution of $5,000 towards the project to be distributed only after a successful award of the CAT grant. So that's the proposed resolution.
Aye.
Shirley,
Aye.
Dan,
Aye.
Steve,
No,
me, no. Passes 3-2.
I'm sure I'm gonna take a lot of heat from my constituents, but I hope they trust me on this one. It is benefit for everyone in the county, maybe not just at this particular time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You relinquish the chair.
And I'll step down and return to resume it to Dan.
Thanks for reading that, Mark.
Yeah. I needed to freshen up.
Fun, isn't it? All right, next up. Act on whether or when to set a public
Do you
hearing.
want to do Andy while he's-
Well, you could do that. The rest of them are not like you. What do you have for us today?
I don't have anything.
Really?
So you can walk in the rain and see those.
Yeah.
Yeah. Looks like the sun's gonna come out.
Andy, I have a question for you on the 28Es. Are we, for the land, that's primarily a landfill issue, that's moving forward so that our the recycle and things like that and preserving our landfill space because of the efforts that we do by the recycle department to try to conserve space and put products back into the marketplace. Do you think do we need to make some amendments and changes? Are we?
When this came up a month or two ago, I looked
Yeah.
at 20D. I don't think that we specifically address recycling in the 28E in terms of requiring members' compliance or participation. So I think that if you're going to tie the two together, to make some changes to the 28E, I think the potential problem is your membership outside of Winneshiek County. And I'm trying to think through, how would you address their recycling needs or requirements unlike what you're doing in this year.
Part of it right now is that it maybe isn't required, but it's encouraged financially by offering the grants. With doing recycling, so. But they have several grants that can be used for educational purposes or other things that they give out to recycling programs.
Well, I think we just have to look at that further because we don't, if we are not careful and we see our recycling materials leave the county or go to end up, a lot of it may end up in the landfill as a concern. We're taking, and then we may be jeopardizing all the work that we're putting into our recycling department to make it more efficient and so forth. And we lose part of the revenue stream to offset some of the hard work that we do, or we may end up needing to make adjustments to full-time equivalent employees, et cetera, and cut down the services. I don't really want to see that happen. I think we're moving in a very good direction with our recycling department, and our next year's budget will show some of the beginnings improvements and reduction of cost because they've been very diligent in seeking other revenue streams and other ways of marketing the product to not be locked in to one individual who takes advantage of our pricing and so forth, but being able to go into more of a market-driven approach to selling the product. So and if that means we got to do something, I don't know how that's going to proceed with trying to preserve to make sure that what's in the county doesn't end up because of some other contract that a municipality may make that ships it off to another county and all of our efforts are not.
And maybe, I'm just thinking out loud here, you may want to consider, instead of amending the lease agency 2080, to look at trying to do a 2080 amongst the 7 communities in the county that is specific to recycling. And it kind of eliminates that.
I understand.
Clayton and our county, the fact that very difficult.
In Albuquerque County may come back into the landfill.
Question. And this is just in the beginning stages. It may never happen. But county conservation has the Silver Springs ballpark. And I just spoke with that board, which I'm on, a little bit at our last meeting. The ballpark hasn't been used in 5 or 6 years, hardly, but a handful of times. And it's starting to really show some wear and tear. If they would consider letting the city of Washington revamp that park, to do some remodeling to it and this and that. Barb thought there may need to be a 28E agreement with the city and the county.
Well, you do 2080 or you could do a lease. So I want to do a transfer to the city, but and you probably want something on paper, but I'm thinking it's probably more in the nature of a lease than it is a 2080. I mean,
Okay.
Because the city's going to effectively manage it, take care of it, use it.
Pay for it.
Yeah, I mean, right. To me, I think that that sounds more like a lease of property.
Yeah, and like I said, it's just in the beginning. I don't know if the board is going to go along with it. It was just an idea that I brought to them, let them think about over the next month. Yeah. And Barb said, she goes, well, call me back. She says, Dan, I talked to Ryan. And he doesn't think that's gonna work because the light poles need to be replaced. I said, yeah, there's 3 real bad ones. I'm well aware some of the lighting is hanging on there by I said, I'm well aware of what kind of condition this park is in at this point in time, and that's another reason why it's not being used. County pays electric bill out there every month on that property, and, you know, it's never getting used, so either the county should put it to use or something, or
Sell it.
or sell it,
Somebody else.
but the conservation is not real up on selling at this point.
And they own it, county conservation.
I think at one point in time, they were talking about giving it to the city of Washington. And this is probably just when I just started on the council, so it's a long time ago. But it would be an island, and the golf course would have had been annexed in at that time in order for the city to take ownership of that property, and that's why that never transpired. So that was how I recall it anyway. But I guess I don't have anything else.
And we're waiting on the ITID review before we do our policy.
I think we meet early week, October sometime. So we'll hold off until we do this.
And Mary McKenna did get you that.
Yeah.
Is that what you needed?
Yeah, that was not really helpful. But
Okay.
we got it. And this is just saying that it's a moving target because we don't know what our expenses are going to be.
That's. I leave those meetings and the one on Friday with ECI, and it's like, nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows what. Who's paying the bill?
Right.
So, anyway,
Thank you.
thank you.
All right.
The sun came out pretty bad.
That's perfect. See you later.
Bye.
Next up, act on whether or when to set a public hearing for Wemark Dairy Matrix Application.
Yeah, so Doug got this, the dairy expansion and the matrix related one. He wrote a cover letter there, tells you what you need to do. I mean, you need to go through the scoring of it as a board and send your recommendation, and you have the option of holding a public hearing. So Doug would need to know if you want to set a public hearing, when you would do that. Or if you don't want to, you just would score it and send it back.
I have not put eyes on this at all.
No.
Could we put this off for a week so each of us has more time to look into it? Before we make that
I
decision?
mean, you're making a decision on.
We don't,
No, I know
You're
that.
making a decision on whether you want a public hearing.
I realize that.
it's something
I
we've
just
never
know
done in the past.
nothing about it.
What, have a public hearing?
Yeah,
Yeah, we never had one.
not on a matrix.
Because I mean, we can't
This goes
change
to the
nothing.
DNR.
The DNR,
This is DNR.
We can talk about it for 6 months and it won't matter.
it ain't gonna
because
matter. No.
It does make a difference. If we wanted to hold a public hearing, we could. I know that it's up to the DNR and the matrix system, but it's nice to hear from your community on things. It's always good to hear from your community on things. So I don't know anything about it and haven't set eyes on this yet. I would like a chance to read through it first and then decide next week whether or not to set a public hearing.
I don't know
We've
the
never,
timeline. I don't know what, if there's so much time and you have.
Well,
to get
that's what
back.
I was trying to read into the letter here, and
Right.
it doesn't, but
So no, you haven't
obviously,
even seen it yet.
Doug is giving it to us far enough in advance if we have to set a public hearing.
I think we'd be.
I see no reason to set a public hearing. I mean, I got no problem.
Well, I guess I would agree with Shirley, and if the public wants to express something, we should let them do it, even though it is kind of a,
We've never did one before.
what doesn't mean we can't do one in the future.
Well,
I guess
it's kind of pointless.
Yeah.
Because
we can't do nothing, but I mean,
They used, just so you know,
They did used to.
they used to do them for every matrix,
Mhm.
but after the one that they appealed through every step through all the way to the Environmental Protection
Yep.
Agency or Commission or whatever, and still didn't get any result, they kind of quit doing them, and that's been 8 or 10 years ago.
I attended some of those public hearings before.
Yeah.
And it is nice to know as a community that you could at least express your concerns, especially right now when we're having so many meetings about cancer rates in the state and bad water quality in the state. It's a real hot topic. And I think the community would appreciate being able to be heard, knowing that the DNR has the ultimate choice in this because it is a matrix system and we are a part of that. It's still opening it up for the community to have their voices heard.
Why is it always you pointing at the farmer? He's the one doing it
I'm
all.
not always pointing at the.
Well, that's what this here is, a farmer right here.
Yeah,
And you're saying we're the ones that are contaminating the water. and
I'm
everything.
saying right now.
That's exactly what you're saying.
That's what the data is pointing to, not me.
That's,
But
And
it's a
just
good thing
so-
for the community to have a discussion.
Just so you're clear, if community members have comments, they can still submit them.
Yes.
To the
Whether you have a
DNR.
public hearing or
Yeah.
not, they can submit them to the DNR.
And where can I read through this?
It'll be on Doug's desk.
There's one copy.
yep.
Is it a digital copy people can access?
No idea.
Well, I assume all this is on a computer somewhere.
Yeah.
I mean, it must be.
I think that's why it's left to the DNR, because there's a lot of stuff in
Yep.
here that's way over our
Hundred
pay
and
grade.
25 pages, I think.
I am not in favor of public hearing.
I am not either.
I don't see it. I don't see the value in it. We have no authority.
No.
And if anybody that's concerned can certainly,
They can come read it here. They can
they
contact
can read
the
it,
DNR.
contact the
Give them
DNR.
their opinion.
I always fall on the side of community input and listening to my community. It's just good.
They
practice.
have the option here.
All right, no public hearing.
Do you want to make a motion to make that official, or you just want to, I mean, I heard,
I'd move not to hold a public hearing.
Second.
I think you need to make it in the affirmative, the motion, correct?
I believe it has to be.
I thought they did.
can get confusing when it's not, but I'll try to make sure it's worded appropriate.
So we have a motion and a second
What is the motion then?
for no public hearing.
Not set a public,
To
not hold a public hearing.
Wemark Dairy
Dairy
Matrix
Matrix
Application.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign.
Aye.
Motion passes 3-2.
Let Doug know that, and then I think you still have to, as a board, sign off on the scoring portion of it, so that we'll have them set that up in a couple weeks to give you a chance to.
I'll drop this back off in Doug's office.
Let Doug, schedule Doug in to answer any questions.
Lunch to sit and read it.
Yeah, Dan, said he'll take
Don't take that
it, so he
one.
didn't talk about the procedures at this point.
Next
Trying
up,
to get a few words out of Doug.
we have a renewal contract for a flex plan.
Yeah, so we have our Midwest Group Benefits manages our flex pay plan. It's the same fees. It's $25 per month per employee if there's 5 or fewer, or $50, or no, not per employee. $25 per month if it's 5 or fewer, $50 per month if it's 6 to 10, and $4 per participant if it's more than 10.
And how many participants is it?
I don't know that off the top of my head.
It's not very
15 to 20 that we have that use it.
I move to approve the flex plan contract renewal.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the flex plan contract renewal with Midwest Group Benefits. Is there any further discussion? None, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries unanimously. And last but not least, Civil Service Commission appointment.
Yeah, so this one, we didn't advertise or anything for this, but the Mary Ott has been appointed here within the last year, but it was for the unexpired remainder of the term, so it actually came up August 1st again. So I don't know if you want to just reappoint her now for an actual term of her own, or if you want me to do.
Do we have to advertise it to be?
There's nothing required that you have.
Oh, okay.
So I move to reappoint Commissioner Mary Ott
I'd second that.
We have a motion and a second for the appointment of Mary Ott to the Civil Service Commission. Commission.
I thought we kind of agreed that every time there's gonna be openings, we'd advertise that there were, but I don't have a problem with.
I mean, if she wants to stay on, it's hard to find.
Are we gonna do that for each of the commissions moving forward? If people want to stay on and continue when they're appointed?
That's up to you
No.
guys. I know that this one, since it was recently and you had trouble getting someone that, and she didn't get a full term yet, that you maybe would want.
We had 2 applications or more for that position.
No, we had her application and I think perhaps one more.
Mhm.
She's very qualified. I have no problem with it. She did volunteer to continue on.
So because she's very qualified and because she wants to continue on for another
That's-
term, we're saying that we should do that.
Well,
That's not what we're saying, Shirley. We're dealing with this appointment.
So you're doing a one-off on this one.
I think this
Sure.
one's a little different because she hasn't had a full term. She's only had a month. So I think the idea is that since you just made her, appointed her to it, that I think that's what's different about this one than one where they've already served a full term. That's completely up to you.
But in the future, we will be advertising.
Yeah, because most of them come due in the end of December, and so I advertise for them as a big group.
Yeah, we had.
And if this one didn't appoint right now, we could, I mean, the Civil Service Commission may not need to convene, and we could just include this vacancy on the group advertising in a couple months, but it seems a little
It's better.
different that this one is at a different time of the year that we would want to pay to advertise for just this one. Like more, I mean, all of the rest of these come at the end of December, so we do one big ad.
Can you highlight on a sheet like that for the next meeting or give us the sheet again? I'm sure I have it somewhere. So we know where the openings are. I'll look in my email if you want
The
to send it.
website's been updated with all the current.
Yeah, it was actually getting this website updated that we caught that this one was actually expired again already, so.
Okay,
So it is on the website. But it'll be like at the end of the year, you'll have 3 on the Pioneer Cemetery and 3 on the Historic Preservation and 1 Board of Health and 2 Veterans Affairs is in there.
They're different.
They're different.
Yeah.
One Board of Health, 1 Conservation,
public planning and zoning.
P and Z are all in
Wait,
different
end of-
schedule too.
End of 26.
All right. We have a motion and a second for the appointment of Mary Ott for the Civil Service Commission appointment. All those in favor, say aye.
I,
Those opposed, same sign. Passes unanimously. Anyone have anything else?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
A motion and a second for adjournment. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous.
thank you.
You're gonna bring that back to Doug's office?
Not right away.
And just so you know, there were
I
many,
will call Doug.
I had many people ask if they could donate money to the county that could then be used as a county committee. But when I talked with Stephanie Frank, she said that's still a donation.
Yep.
And so it doesn't count as a county commitment, but there were people offering to write me a check at my counter to try to make it work.
I had a call too.
And they'll probably do it anyway.
And they can still give, but just go ahead and give through the already
Yeah.
established fundraising mechanism.
So we can't establish a fund that
Thank you very much.
people could make contributions.
They could,
Special
but it
project.
wouldn't help the Catholic, because it's not a county fund. It's a
No, we
donation.
know that. In the future, is there a way to set up a fund, maybe from community foundation or through our own, that people can donate money to each other? So when we do have people come to us for match grants or
Yeah,
county
I think-
support, then we have that little slush fund.
Well, that might sound good, but like the CAT grant wouldn't consider that county matching fund,
Because they've donated.
because they were donations.
Right.
So,
How many board members have
yes.
it?
Yeah, you continue it off. There's only two of us.
Yeah, and so the point is that a donation is a donation, it's not county matching, yes. So I don't think we wanna just have it floating